Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker will square off in the co-feature of Anthony Joshua vs. Francis Ngannou on March 8 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Parker, fresh off a stunning shock victory in Riyadh last month against Deontay Wilder by a unanimous decision. Zhang had a breakthrough campaign last year, winning two straight stoppage bouts against Joyce. Zhang's only loss occurred in a contentious decision against Filip Hrgovic in Riyadh in 2022, and during the bout, he floored his opponent. Parker, 32, from New Zealand, has won 4 straight fights after losing to Joyce via 11th round knockout in 2022. Parker, a former heavyweight champion, defeated Andy Ruiz by a close margin in 2016 to win the vacant WBO title. In 2018, he suffered back-to-back decision losses to Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. "For me, it was the best performance of Joseph's career," said Parker's promoter David Higgins in media reports. "The reason I say that is because those massive, global, pay-per-view fights have a special pressure about them. The eyes of the world are upon you and against his opponent, a murderous puncher, one of the most feared in history. You can't really describe what that pressure is like until you've been in that situation," he added. A couple of times he came up short in his career, but this time he maintained a cool head, was patient, showed intent, stuck to the fight plan, withstood the pressure. He didn't just win but dominated Wilder, his doubters and the people writing him off. He's certainly shut that crowd up. In New Zealand, the leading newspapers said he is back, and he's got another run at a world title, he continued. In addition, before Zhilei Zhang stepped into the ring versus Joyce last April, it's safe to say that not many people believed he'd win. Joyce was a -1,000 favorite, which seems almost unfathomable today, while Zhang was the +600 underdog. Yet, Zhang dominated most of the fight before stopping Joyce in the 6th round on Saturday. Joyce now has a chance to make a statement and get his career back on track against the man who sidetracked him. Here's everything you need to know about Zhilei Zhang vs. Joyce, including the odds, their records, and a prediction on who will win. Zhang swelled Joyce's eye in their first meeting, and there was so damage that the fight had to be halted midway through the bout. It wasn't only the injury to the eye. Zhang mostly just dominated Joyce. If the same thing happens on Saturday and Zhang beats Joyce again, Zhang will look to lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, even though Fury is set to face MMA fighter Francis Ngannou, and has said he wants more MMA opponents in the future. Terry Lane, Zhang's co-manager, said his fighter should get his shot at Fury. Targeting Joyce's right eye again could be one way for Zhang to get his shot at Fury's championship at one point in his career. Joyce, especially after he knocked out Daniel Dubois in 2020, was the one targeting Fury, but now he's looking for a better performance versus Zhang. One way he'll try to do that is by simply being heavier. In the first fight, Joyce weighed 256 pounds, 15 pounds lighter than he did when he beat former heavyweight titless Joseph Parker 7 months earlier, and the lightest he'd come into a fight since 2019. Joyce said he's best when he's in the 270s or even in the low 280s. Joyce also admitted that he was surprised by Zhang's speed and accuracy. Zhilei Zhang has an immense amount of respect for Joseph Parker. Most heavyweights wouldn't have welcomed a dangerous showdown with the powerful fighter who brutally knocked out the only opponent to beat him inside the distance. That's exactly the scenario Parker embraced after he revitalized his career by upsetting Deontay Wilder on December 23rd at Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Less than 10 weeks later, on March 8th at Kingdom Arena, Parker will encounter Zhang, the gigantic Chinese southpaw whose right hook knocked out Joyce. The 40-year-old Zhang's impressive, vicious knockout of Joyce occurred one day short of the one-year anniversary of Joyce's 11th round knockout of Parker at A Arena in Manchester, England. New Zealand's Parker has indeed fought a long list of former champions and contenders over the past 7.5 years. Former IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO champ Anthony Joshua, Joyce and Dillian Whyte are the only opponents who've beaten Parker. The former WBO champion has defeated Wilder, a former WBC champ, Andy Ruiz Jr.,